everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sandra if you have not been here before, and I don't know, I feel weird today. I feel like I haven't, so today's a Thursday. I guess I should start off with the day of the week. It's a Thursday and I have not filmed all week, and I don't know why. We had our Canada Day long weekend last weekend. We slept out in the yard with our tent, and I just haven't really felt motivated to do a whole lot of anything, to be completely honest. And I guess the only thing I've really been focusing on lately is my bullet journal. I have been watching a new YouTube video, and I've subscribed to a new person. Her name is Helen Colebrook. And just out of curiosity, I know this is a makeup tutorial video and not a bullet journal video, but just in case you guys are interested, I am going to link her channel for you. She's actually from England, and I don't know, like, it's her accent or something, like it just kind of drew me in. But she also uses what's called a traveler's journal. And I have one. I wish I had it here now to show you, but I will show you on my next video if I can remember to bring it up to my vanity with me. And it's basically these like little paper inserts, and you can get the paper in like blank style, you can get it lined, you can get it graph style, and also the dot grid, which is like the most common method for bullet journalists. And then it comes with like this little leather cover, and my traveler notebook size is actually, I think it's 8.25 by, I want to say 4.25 or 4 3/4. I'm not sure, but it's really tall and skinny, so it's not your conventional A5 size. And she does what she calls, and what I'm going to call, because I'm going to do the same thing, creative journaling. So you guys know that I am obsessed with journaling. I have tons and tons of journals. They're just lined. I just write and I write and I write, and that's all I do. So I sometimes use stickers, sometimes I don't. But I don't add little pieces to make it more decorative. It's just strictly writing. And that's something that I will never ever share on social media. So those are my private feelings, my private thoughts, personal stuff that I don't wish to share. But creative journaling, on the other hand, is, I like the idea where she'll write a couple of lines every day on the left-hand page, and on the right-hand side, she's very creative, and she'll do like a watercolor painting, or she'll use watercolor pencils or scrapbook paper, and she'll write a quote and just kind of how she's feeling that day or that week. And I want to kind of take the same, not the same ideas, like I'm not going to go and copy her. She actually shops from a store called Lenten Gifties, and you can, I checked it out, you can actually order from Canada, but the prices are in pounds, and it's like ridiculous. For like 6 washi tape or 5 washi tape, it was $75 Canadian. So at this moment in time, it's not affordable for me, but they have the most amazing kind of scrapbook and creative journaling items. They've got, yeah, I won't even go into it. You guys should check it out. I'll link the website down below as well in the description box, just if you're curious. And I've just been, I guess I've been kind of motivated in that sense of the word. So kind of getting into new ideas. And I know I've been working in my happy planner, and I've been posting weekly videos for you guys using my Create 365 sticker books, using my Chrissy Ann design stickers, and I was all into it and really happy with it. But you know what? I find that I just don't use it as much as I use my bullet journal. And so now I'm debating, do I continue on until the end of my happy planner, which is December, or would you guys prefer me start creative journaling and post a video about it each week? Because I think that would be kind of cool. The only thing is that there's different layouts, so sometimes I might want to do like a daily little note on the left hand side of the page, and then do like the actual spread on the right. I don't know yet. I'm just gonna play it by ear and see how it goes. But if that's something that you'd rather see, because I think it would get my creative juices flowing, and just, I don't know, I feel like it would make me more happy, because the happy planner planning system, I don't even look at it sometimes, and you'll notice, like, I flip back to previous weeks, I don't even fill out the boxes and the stickers, and now I feel like I'm just wasting it. So I don't want it to become this thing where it's just for YouTube and I'm showing you guys, but I'm not actually getting any use out of it. My bullet journal is a whole nother monster. I'm in love with my bullet journal, and I have added some things such as I kind of got inspiration from Helen Colebrook too, in the way that I did not really an inspiration page, but I guess that I plan to do like a kind of like a collage, just like a vision board, which I thought was super cool. And then also what makes me proud, or like things that make me happy, and I want to do like a spread like that for the entire month. And I think that's, you know, it's more journaling in my bullet journal, but at the same time, it's kind of what works for me and what makes me happy. So, okay, all that aside, let's just get into this makeup tutorial because I could go on and on about journaling, and I'm sorry if you guys aren't interested in that, but that is what I love. So here we go. So I will also add a timestamp just down below, so like if you just want to see the makeup, then I'll put it the time for just the makeup. Wow, that took forever to get out. Okay, so moisturize, done. Priming, next. I'm gonna use, again, products that like I feel like I rotate through just to see how I'm sitting with each item, see how I'm loving it, see how it works for my skin at this moment. Like every season, my skin will change. Right now, it feels really good. It's not tight, it's not dry. Like I always have dry skin. My problem mostly is dryness, I guess under the eye dryness, and I always try to find ways to combat that, whether it's like special eye cream or like layers of moisturizer. Exfoliating is very important. I always prime, so even if I buy a foundation and it tells me not to, forget that, I'm always priming. So I'm using my Too Faced Do You Fresh Glow Luminous Face Primer in Radiant Nude, and I'm just going to use 2 pumps of this. And I'm going to put it on my face with my fingers. It smells like cucumber watermelon. It smells really awesome. So this stuff is really radiant, and I also have the powder. I'm not going to be using the powder today though, because I have another powder in mind that again I want to kind of use and use up. Although if you guys are into makeup at all, you'll notice that it does take forever to use up products. Not foundation and concealer, especially if you do your makeup every day and you only have 1 or 2 bottles, but I have more than just 1 or 2, and I find that it does take me a while to go through them and to kind of rotate through all of them, and I haven't actually finished any of them. I've thrown a couple out because they were drugstore and they were old, and so I mean, I didn't feel so guilty throwing them out, but in general, I haven't. Again, my makeup is mostly new, so I haven't really had any issues like that yet, but I mean, the due dates are coming up, so I'm just going to try to get through them. And then again, my thing is that if I have like an absolute diehard favorite, I'm going to repurchase it, and if I don't, as soon as I finish a foundation and I can save up for it, it lets me try something new that maybe is new on the market or has been getting a lot of like fan hits lately, something that's trending. So yeah, that's my take on it. So I'm going in with this drugstore foundation, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Foundation. This is the shade 470, and I don't know if it has a name on it. It does. Radiant Honey. So this is much too light for me right now, but I do want to just use this because I haven't used it lately. And besides, you know, we can always go in with bronzer. So my trick to combat my forehead creases, my wrinkles, and I guess I'm going to have to call them like facial expression lines, because wrinkles makes me sound old, and I'm a firm believer that age is just a number and that we are only as old as we feel. My trick is to apply 2 pumps of foundation to my sponge. I do not bring it up onto my forehead until the very last little bit, because if I stay away from my forehead as much as I can and not over product and not, I'm actually under product. using less product on my forehead than the rest of my face. But if I still give it a light coat, it still kind of blends in and makes my skin all one color. It's just my forehead is like this really dark tan shade, and the rest of my skin is not as dark, but it's either, you know, it's a give and take. Like, I really don't want the product settling into my fine lines and stuff. So this product is also very watery, like it's very liquidy. So it spreads really easy. I don't know, it's not my favorite. I've actually preferred, and I know that like I don't mind buying a drugstore foundation or concealer every now and then, because not only are they cheap, if you hate it, you can just throw it out. But I think my biggest problem with anything coming from the drugstore or Walmart or wherever is people will open up the product and then you won't realize it, or you'll buy it and then it'll be open. And usually drugstore places have like a good return policy, that if you go and tell them like, I bought this and I didn't realize it was open, they'll give you like an in-store like a credit or whatever. But I don't even like returning stuff, and that is one of my pet peeves. I've done that with lipsticks, I've done that with concealer and foundation, where I've bought it and it was open, and I'm like, why the hell? Like, have a tester, and if you don't have a tester, then keep your hands off of it, don't open it. It really makes me angry. So now I'm going in with my e.l.f. color corrector. Get rid of those dark under eye circles. So for darker skin, like I'm using this peach shade, which covers up my darkness. But for someone with darker skin, you might want to use more of an orange shade. So I'm just going to take my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and gently buff out the edges of this product, just so there's not like tons of the product sitting in one little area here. But mostly we want to kind of leave it where it is. So maybe I move this one too much. I'll just put a little bit more. I would just kind of dab it just to blend out the edges. But again, you just kind of want to leave it there so that when you apply your concealer over top, it just stays put. So I'm using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer in the shade Light. I should really get rid of this one. This is the first one I ever bought. And this product is really, really good. So I'm going to highlight a little bit. I was just going to go into bronzer, but we can still use a little bit of bronzer over top. So first I'm just going to use the pointed end of my sponge to kind of gently blend the highlighting areas of my face. And with this part, obviously I didn't use that much product in the first place, but I very gently blend over it just to kind of, again, I want to keep the product in the spot that I apply it. I don't want it to be moving all over my face. So that is why when you're applying your concealer or foundation for that matter, never swipe the sponge, always just kind of gently dab it over the area. Okay, so to set the under eye, I have my Becca Be a Light palette. I want to use it, but I'm actually going to go in with my under eye first and use my Coty Airspun loose face powder, because I haven't used it forever, and it actually is one, like, it's my favorite. Like, I've got lots of favorites. I say that every single time I feel. But this one is, it's one of my very first powders recommended by Emily Jean. And it smells funky, it smells like old lady, no offense to old ladies, but I've grown accustomed to it, and I've grown to really like the smell, if that makes sense. You get so much product. You can't buy it from Walmart here in Canada anymore, at least not where I'm from, but you can get it on Amazon for really, really cheap. It's like $20, but you get a whole lot of product in here. And for the under eye, this is like, it's very comparable, I guess, to the Maybelline Fit Me. Like, they both kind of work the same. But this, I don't know, it's just one of my favorites. And powder doesn't go bad as fast as like a liquid product, for instance. So now I'm using my Becca Be a Light face palette, and I'm just going to take my large powder brush. So this is my F20, which I haven't used in a while actually. So again, large powder, F20 by Sigma, and I'm going to take this darker shade here. I'm going to swirl this in the powder, and I'm actually going to set the rest of my face with it. So again, the under eye is set with my Coty Airspun, and this is supposed to have like glow pearls or something in it, so it's supposed to give you a really nice radiant finish, but at the same time my primer had glow to it as well. So if I have really amazing glowy skin after this is done, I don't know which to give credit to. I'll just say a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. So now I'm going to take this really brighter shade, which is almost like a highlight shade, but I'm just going to apply this everywhere as well. And then we're actually going to quickly go off camera and do eyebrows. So eyebrows, I'm just going to stick to two products, my Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer 305 Soft Brown and my Maybelline Brow Precise Fibre Volumizer, also in Soft Brown. So eyebrows are done. I had to fight with them a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with my eyebrows today. This one's higher, and I always have a tendency to do this, so I can lift my left eyebrow higher anyway, so I think maybe it's just the way my facial muscles are. I don't know. But this one always seems lower, so that's one thing I noticed. Sometimes I use this Fake Awake by Tarte, and I just kind of clean up my eyebrow area. Technically, it's like an eyeliner that you use in your lower lash line to make your eyes look wider, or I guess more awake, if that makes sense. But I used it underneath my eyebrow instead of concealer today. So the next step is to contour and to bronze a little bit. So I'm actually going to go in with my bronzer first. I'm going to use my F30 large powder by Sigma, and I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze, the Coconut Perfect Tan in 104 Tantastic. So I'm just going to use this. It's kind of a light bronze. It's not really dark enough for my skin, but I'm just going to go in and darken things up just a little bit. And next, I will go in with my F40, my large angled contour brush, and go in with my Tarte Park Ave Princess Chisel palette. This is the destroyed one, unfortunately. I'm just going to use the darkest shade I have and gently contour my cheekbone. I always find I can get a better nose contour when I use my cream products. It could also be the brush I'm using because it's a little large for my nose. Good. And next we are going to blush. So I am using my Tarte Life of the Party blush palette. I think I always talk about how underrated I feel like this product is every single video, only because it's still on sale on the Tarte website and no one seems to be buying it. So I always like to show it a little love. So I'm going to use my F64, my Soft Blend Concealer by Sigma. So I'm using my Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2 Lighting Palette for my highlight today. And I think I'm just going to go in with Daylight, which is, well, it's really bright. This is the lightest one here. This is Skylight, but I like Daylight for everyday wear. And we will keep this out to highlight the brow bone and also the inner corner. Okay, so now for shadow. So this time I'm actually going to show the shadow instead of having it cut out, I hope, when it comes to editing. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. So first I'm just going to give my face a quick all-over spray with my Milani Make It Dewy. And let's go in with the first shadow. So I have an idea in mind, and I hope this doesn't get too crazy and out of control. So first step, and I want to do a lot of blending here. So I'm going to take a Sigma E40 Tapered Blending. I'm going to start with Good Morning, which is very, very light for me, but I have an idea in mind. So I'm going to start very high up, way up here. You won't even be able to see this. It's just going to make the whole blending process a lot easier for me. I'm not even stamping the brush off here, only because it's so light you can't even see any fallout anyway. And next, I am going in with Cone. Same brush. This is the shade here, so it's the neutral crease shade that I prefer to use. And again, I'm still not going to go fully in the crease here. I'm going to bring it up higher as if I was going to do a high cut crease, but I don't know if I am, so we will see. I might have to, I don't know. So I think that is blended enough for that color. So you can see I've brought it up quite high. It's almost underneath my eyebrow. So I'm going to go in with an E35 now. And, ooh, okay, so I'm not sure whether I want to go in with Orange Juice, which is this sparkly orange shade, or Suck, which is this matte, darker orange shade. I think we're actually going to start with Orange Juice, which is sparkly. Really going to make sure to tap off the brush here. And I'm just going to put it right underneath that like crease shade, which was the shade Cone. It's actually quite pretty, so it's still not too dark, which I really like. And we will have to go back in. I will take my E40, the previous brush I used, just to blend this shade out. And I'm just going to continue building up the color just a tiny bit here. And I actually like how this is sparkly. So normally in my crease, I never use a sparkly shade, but I have a really awesome idea. I hope this is going to work out for me. So now we're going in with the E40. I'm just going to gently blend above where I put that shade Orange Dew. And this just blends it into the shade Cone up above a little bit. And now hopefully you can see why I applied that really light shade up here, because it really helps to blend the shades out. And then next we're going to go in with a much smaller brush now. So this is the E45 small tapered blending. Wow, I cannot talk today. I'm going in with the shade Suck, which now is that matte shade. Tap off the brush, and now I'm really bringing this down to the crease, and I really want to keep this concentrated in the crease now. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with my E35 and blend above again. I might actually dip it into the shade Orange Juice again just to apply a little bit more of that sparkly color, because I think that's really pretty at this point, just to blend out the shade Suck. And Jeffrey comes out with the most interesting shade names. That is perfect. I love this. So I think we will have to go in with a little bit of concealer. So I am going to use my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I am going to find a cream color brush, which should be my A58 if I'm not mistaken. It sure is. And I'm going to apply this concealer in the crease, kind of in the crease, but I still want some of that orange to show through. And I'm just going to do it, it won't be the full eye, but it's going to be a little bit more than half, just to about there, because we're going to add a darker red on the outside. Darker red, orange, I don't know. I found that works perfect for me if I just put the concealer, the product on my brush, and then stamp it here, and then just swipe up and do like one quick line. It seems to work the best. I will put that baby away. I am going to take, what do I take? Let's take a small brush, a smaller brush. I'm going to use my Firm Shader E57. So now, I don't think I want to put it on wet, but I'm going to take the shade Cute, which is this like pastel aqua shade. This is going to look so bomb. So I'm just going to stamp it. I guess we still have to tap it off because I don't want any fallout. So this is what the shade looks like after I tapped it off. And I'm going to stamp it onto the concealer. Actually, another thing that would look really awesome is if I put some dark blue there instead of like red. So we'll see how it looks, and then I'll decide what color to use. So this is actually working out way better than I thought it would. Total success, you guys. And I think to date I haven't really done like that much of a contrasting color other than like my rainbow looks, but rainbow looks don't count because they still kind of blend easy into the rainbow colors, if you know what I mean. Whoa, I love it. Okay, so now do I do red or blue? You know what? We're going for blue, baby. This tiny little brush. This actually has purple on it from before. I'm going to put it into the shade Soaked, and I'm just going to start like very, very lightly because I don't want to mess up my look. So what I did is I added a little bit of this dark blue, and that is the shade Soaked. I don't really know where to go from here. I'm not really sure if I want to blend it up into the orange color. I think what I was trying to do was keep it on the blue and then somehow blend like a darker orange or red in the crease, on the outside crease. So I was taking this E45 again and taking a little bit of Suck and then also putting into Licorice, but I don't want to, I don't want to blend it out so that the color goes away, because so you can see here, if I put this licorice color on top, or even the orange shade, the blue just kind of disappears. And that's not what I want. I just want to gently blend it so it's not like this really harsh line. So maybe the trick here is just to kind of go back in with each brush and keep adding color until it just stays there. I don't know. So this blue color, I'm just kind of patting it on. So maybe that will have to just kind of look like that. Like it's just going to be like this dramatic change in color from like orange to blue. And then what we're going to have to do is also take a little bit of that teal shade and just pat over the blue to blend those colors back in. And then I'm going to go back in with that orange brush here and just gently make sure that there's no harsh line. So I think we might just have to leave it like that. And then I'm going to take my F06, my powder sweep, brush away any fallout. And then I think what we'll do is kind of stamp, like I know that the outside corner would follow through with the blue better, but I really like the orange. So I'm actually just going to take Short Shader E20. I'm going to take the shade Suck, which is that matte dark orange shade, and I'm just going to press this into the lower lash line here, all the way around. And basically right here, I'm just kind of stamping on the color. And I'm going to take that E45 brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of orange juice on that brush. And now I'm just going to blend out the matte orange with the sparkly orange. And if you want, you could always connect it up here. So really that pop of teal and dark blue just gives it like that little pop of color, and that's it. So now with something like this, you could go in and you could add some liner, you could add some lashes, and it would be like an awesome date night look, or you know, what have you. But I think I'm just going to go in with my mascara. I'm actually using my Tarte Gifted Amazonian Clay Smart Mascara today. And before I do that, because we'll go off camera to do that part, I'm going to quickly line my lips. I am going to wear some lipstick today. So this is my Milani Color Statement Lip Liner True Instant Color 02 True Red. Okay, so I just wanted to very gently, lightly outline my lips because I am using this Tangerine Target lipstick, and this is Glide and Go Buttery Lipstick by Tarte. So the packaging is so cute. It's actually like this cardboard packaging, but it is orange, tangerine, and it will match perfectly with that orange shadow. I just didn't want the lip liner to be so red and dark that I couldn't blend it out. And this shade is so pretty. Okay, I think I would have had better luck if I had just lined my lips with a neutral color, but this looks pretty good. And as the day progresses, it'll kind of wear off, and then I can just reapply the lipstick and it'll just look more tangerine as opposed to red. So we will be right back. I'm going to apply my mascara. Alright, you guys, we're almost done this look. So I'm just going to go back into my highlight palette. I'm going to use actually this like brightest shade, which is Skylight. I'm going to take an E30 pencil brush now from Sigma, and I'm going to tap off the brush, put a small little amount right on the tear duct on each eye. And this really helps to make your eyes look brighter, open them up, especially when you have lots of colored shadows surrounding your eye. And then we're also going to put some right underneath the eyebrow. And that is it for this look. So I'm just going to gently blend this out here. So this is something that I haven't really done on my channel yet, and I want to do more looks like this. I think that especially on this look itself, I've got, I mean, like I'm starting to go into the warm tone, and then all of a sudden I change it to this like bright, cold, kind of like I'm cold or I'm deceased lid with like a teal, and it's not to mention like a pastel. So I really think that pops, and I don't even need to add any liner or falsies to my eyes to make them stand out. So I'm living for this look right now. I think this is so cool, and I would love to do more of these looks for you with different shades, maybe different shapes on the eye. I wouldn't mind also bringing this out into more of like a cat eye with a colored liner. That would be really cool as well. If you guys have any comments about this look, please leave them down below. Comment, and if you have any questions, again, leave it down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already done that, and hit the bell button below to be notified every single time I post a video. And until next time, you guys, thank you so much for joining me again today. Have a wonderful day. Take care.